So today we're going to be talking about grit and channeling grit during periods of adversity, because I think it's very important given that the situation we're in. The news media has been reporting rising rates of depression due to the coronavirus pandemic. Lots of people are uncertain about the future. Lots of job losses, lots of businesses having to also think about how they restructure to move on. And so grit is a very important concept to talk about during this time, because if we lack the grit to move on, then we probably won't be in a position to come out of this better on the other side. So one of the things I talk about in holistic wealth is silencing the inner critic, because so many of us have undergone various disappointments during this time, whether it's with the family members who aren't calling enough the way you expected them to call, or whether it's the job loss or a spouse at home not giving the support that we need. I think silencing the inner critic helps us to not dwell on the negative. And in silencing the inner critic, we're thinking about that unraveling, or those thoughts that lead to that unraveling into negative territory. And we're thinking about maybe the past, or thinking about things that should have been, the way life should have unfolded, and it didn't. And so wrapped up in that is the concept of, and I call this in my book, Holistic Wealth, channeling or inner strength to conquer pity. And so there's negative messaging in our own minds as well as pity. And so one of the ways to overcome that by using grit is to flip the script. And once we flip that script, we're not thinking about those negative moments or the negative thoughts anymore. We're channeling, we're flipping the script to have more positive thoughts. And so I know during this period, lots of people are thinking about uncertainty. And so when we think about the future, we're thinking about a time that's unspecified. We don't know when this is going to end. Some media reports yesterday were suggesting up to 2024 being in isolation. And so that triggers fear and panic as well. And so even thinking about the future during this time triggers anxiety. And then thinking about the past does as well, because we're thinking about a past that was normal, something that we had to let go of to be here in this moment. So I think in terms of grit, one thing to keep in mind, and many successful people, I've interviewed over 100 people who are considered the most successful people on earth. And one of the things I've learned most about each and every one of them is their ability to employ grit to get through difficult times. And it means really channeling our inner resources and mustering up the strength and the courage to go on when times seem tough, to go on when our expectations aren't being met, to go on when everything seems to be crumbling. So focusing on the positive, silencing that inner critic, and flipping the script to a more positive mindset, a more holistically wealthy mindset, will make us overcome this period when we're mired in uncertainty and fear. But just channeling that so that we can come out better on the other side will help us to deal with this better.